We'd like to invite you to watch English news on Đồng Nai Province Central. We'd like to invite you to watch the English news on Đồng Nai Province Central Television Channel. On December the 11th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended and chaired the National Conference on Human Rights Education. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính affirmed that respecting, ensuring and promoting human rights has always been a consistent and continuous policy of our party and state since its establishment. The Prime Minister emphasized that protecting and educating human rights is the task of the entire people, comprehensive, encompassing, and of the whole country. Placed under the leadership of the party, the participation of the entire political system, and the participation of the people. Protecting and educating human rights must be placed in the overall education and training institutions with the spirit of taking students as the center, teachers as the driving force, schools as the foundation, and must be an official program, not an integrated program. Along with emphasizing many key tasks in the coming term, the Prime Minister specified four important contents of human rights. Firstly, to live happily, live healthily, live safely, live greenly. Secondly, to be free to operate within the framework of the Constitution and the law, to maximize personal interests and bring benefits to the community and society. Thirdly, people have an increasingly prosperous and happy life. Each year is better than the previous year. Fourthly, there is equality. No one is left behind. Đồng Nai Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda Department has just issued propaganda guidelines to celebrate the 95th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of Vietnam, February 3rd, 1930, February 3rd, 2025. Accordingly, with the fifth, the Communist Party of Vietnam, courage, intelligence, prestige, innovation for national independence and socialism. The Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda Department requested relevant departments, branches, and units to well-organize information and propaganda work in newspapers, magazines, electronic information portals, electronic information pages, and social networks. At the same time, organize and launch patriotic emulation movements, select and train outstanding masses, introduce them to the party organization for consideration of admitting new party members, organize the awarding of party patches, organize seminars and scientific conferences on the 95th anniversary of the party's founding, and so on. In particular, the Propaganda Department requested the Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism to well direct and guide the work of propaganda and visual agitation, focusing on propaganda on banners, billboards, posters, electronic boards, exhibitions, thematic displays, develop and screen films about the party and the country's achievements, organize cultural and artistic programs, physical education and sports activities, and so on with a grassroots spirit. On December the 11th, the Đồng Nai Provincial Military Command held a conference to review military and defense tasks in 2024 and deploy tasks in 2025. Attending the conference were Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee and Head of the Provincial National Assembly Delegation, Quảng Minh Cương. The report at the conference showed that in 2024, local agencies and units thoroughly grasped and strictly implemented the military and defense mission plan according to regulations, regularly maintained strict combat readiness, especially during peak holidays and Tet. At the same time, continuously and consistently coordinated with the provincial police and functional forces to grasp the political security situation, social order and safety, promptly advised the party committee and authorities to deploy measures to maintain political security and social order and safety in the area. Speaking at the conference, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Head of the National Assembly Delegation of Đồng Nai Province, Quảng Kang Min-keung commanded, acknowledged and highly appreciated the results of the implementation of the military and defense task in 2024. At the same time, he requested that the head of the provincial military command and leaders of the district military command always thoroughly grasp the principle of the Paris comprehensive and absolute leadership of the military and defense activities of the armed forces, stepping up propaganda, education and inspiration so that every citizen and youth is fully aware of their responsibility and duty as citizens to voluntarily participate in military service, ready to set out to defend the fatherland. In the immediate future, focus on activities to effectively implement the peak emulation campaign to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the founding of the Vietnam People's Army and the 35th anniversary of the National Defense Day, December the 22nd. The Russian Foreign Ministry said on December the 11th that Moscow will not make concessions on the Ukraine issue, and that to achieve peace, President Vladimir Putin's proposals on how to end the conflict must be implemented. Maria Zakharova, spokeswoman for the Russian Foreign Ministry, made a statement after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump called on Ukraine and Russia to immediately cease fire and hold talks to end the conflict. According to Ms. Zakharova, Russia is ready to cooperate with the new U.S. administration on the issue of Ukraine, but has not yet received any serious, feasible solutions that can address Moscow's legitimate security concerns. Ms. Zakharova affirmed that Russia will never make concessions, but in order to achieve peace, President Putin's proposals must be implemented. This includes Ukraine not being allowed to join the North Atlantic Treaty Organization (NATO), and the 4 regions that have been declared part of Russian territory must be maintained. The Syrian Democratic Forces (SDF), which control the country's northeast, announced on December the 11th that they had reached a ceasefire with Turkish-backed Syrian fighters in the city of Manbij. SDF commander Mazloum Abdi said the US-backed SDF and the Turkey-backed Syrian National Army (SNA) had reached a ceasefire after days of fighting in Manbij, a city northeast of Aleppo. According to Mr. Abdi, the agreement procured by the U.S. is to protect the safety of civilians. SDF fighters will withdraw from the area as soon as possible. Mr. Abdi also emphasized that the goal of the SDF is to achieve a ceasefire across Syria and start a political process for the future of their country. Last week, Mr. Abdi also said that the UN had contacted the SDF about supporting a political solution for Syria. The SNA has been attacking Manbij since November 27th and has been fighting with the SDF. The fighting has left more than 200 fighters dead. You've just watched English news on the Essential Television channel of Dong Nai Province. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.